Thunder bombs. Wes still has thunder bombs.
There's a frog running a car. There's a frog in a car.
What is he doing? He's just driving around town?
Welcome, gamers, to Super Beard Bowl Season 2. Each month, we're doing an all-new 8-episode series complete with a beginning and an end, as voted on by you, our loyal viewers. Without paying a single penny, everyone who watches will be able to vote on one of 4 show ideas, and once you narrow it down from 4 to 2, the Beard Bowl Patreon tier will then choose between the top 2 for which show gets made into a full 8-episode series. This month, the winning series is Beard Bros Movie Reviews. Brett, Jirard, and Alex watch and review movies that you guys thought they might enjoy. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. The next public vote begins Monday, August 17th. So until then, just sit back, relax, and enjoy another incredible episode of Super Beard Bowl.
Welcome to Beard Bros. Keep that in. Fuck it. This is the show now. Jirard and I are here, and neither of us know which one should start this show because it's brand new, and it's part of Beard Bowl. It's Beard Bros Movie Reviews, where you pick the movies. And
We
you did
watch them.
Yeah, we did watch them. You guys chose Sharkboy and Lavagirl, so Jirard and I chose to watch that film. Jirard, have you ever seen that?
No, I have never. Let me say,
Yeah.
I am a huge Robert Rodriguez fan. I was very underwhelmed with this film.
Wow.
And I know it was for children. I know it's designed for kids. The best way to describe Sharkboy versus Sharkboy and Lavagirl.
Okay, see, that's probably why you hated it, because you thought it was the two of them fighting. In fact, they really were very good friends.
If they were fighting, it would have been a better movie. This movie is as if you are playing. Imagine you're 8 years old, Brett. You're 8 years old.
Easy.
And you're playing with your friends.
Yeah.
And you're like. And then I have a gun with lasers that shoot you. And then your friend goes, but I have shields that just block your lasers.
Yeah.
And then I go, but my lasers pierce your shield. And you go, but then I pull up new shields that also have guns. Like, that's what this movie is that it's the yes and of a kid's imagination.
It's so funny you said that, because I wrote down something. I wrote 7 notes total across the whole film, right?
Yeah.
Things that I'm like, I should remember this. One of the things I wrote was this is so clearly a yes and project.
Yes.
In case you guys don't know, yes and is a term in improv where it basically means if your partner offers something in the scene, you, instead of saying no to that or yes but, you say yes, you agree to an and then you build off of that. And this movie really comes across, in case you guys don't know, Sharkboy and Lavagirl is by Robert Rodriguez, but it's not just by him, it's by the entire Rodriguez family. The movie opens up with a Rodriguez family production, and I'm like, interesting, because I know nothing. Neither of us has seen this movie. Of course, I knew about Sharkboy and Lavagirl for years. I heard the name, and I'm like, that's something I want to stay away from for the rest of my life, and yet here I am.
So I wrote some notes, Brett.
Tight. But hold on. I'm just letting you know how much I'm agreeing with you. That this just seems like a yes and project, because did you notice at the very beginning when it was based on the dreams of
Racer Max
of Racer, was it Racer Rodriguez?
Racer Max.
Racer Max?
It says Racer Max, and I looked up Racer Max, and that is the name of Robert Rodriguez's son.
Yeah, that was so fucking, it was so clear.
Yeah.
So you guys have to understand that this is this is Robert Rodriguez, the guy who brought us the fucking Mariachi trilogy, the guy who brought us From Dusk Till Dawn, And then
Planet Terror.
Oh, and I know, right? And then this is, I thought this whole time when I was thinking Sharkboy and Lavagirl, the whole time I was thinking about Spy Kids. I thought we were going to watch Spy Kids.
Yes.
I forgot they were two different things.
I thought that Sharkboy and Lavagirl was a part of the Spy Kids cinematic universe. I thought they were connected or tied together.
Okay. So it became very clear to me that what this movie was, that this is definitely a movie about yes-anding. And beyond that, I'm going to tell you exactly what I wrote down. I said, this movie feels like if The Wizard of Oz and the movie Inside Out had a baby, and then that baby went to the most prestigious Bollywood school of all time. That's what this movie felt like.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. That's a true, I get that vibe completely. I tried my best to write down lines, key moments and phrases that just stayed in my brain for a lot longer than they should have.
Okay.
The first thing that I wrote down, and a lot of this you have to understand, no context of, I didn't want to like sit there and write a thesis. I just had to go, I hear this and I put it down. The first thing I wrote, my cookies, my giant cookies.
Was that the cookie giant said that?
No, these are the parents who were mad that their son destroyed their cookies.
Did what's her name from Sex and the City call them giant cookies?
Yes,
my cookies,
she
my
says,
giant cookies.
My cookies, my giant cookies.
My cookies, my giant cookies.
Got it.
I also wrote, there's a lot of famous actors because Rodriguez.
I mean, yeah.
You have George Lopez, David Arquette, the girl from Next to the City. You've got Danny Trejo as the robot.
Danny Trejo was the robot?
I think so. Either that
I looked
or
it up. That was George Lopez. That was
George Lopez again?
You see, there's so many famous people. Motherfucker, there's three
It's
adults
just
in this
three-
movie.
it's just-
There's
it's
three
just
adults in this
three-
movie.
There's three adults, and George Lopez plays three of the adult roles in the movie.
It's true. He plays 9 people, man.
He plays 9 people in this movie. I had to look up. I just wrote who is Racer Max, and then I solved the mystery of Racer Max is Rodriguez's son. I wrote Loser World, all caps.
What was Loser World?
Loser World. I think it's the bully telling the kid that he lives in a loser world.
Oh, yeah.
Toys and Fun equals Drool. Planet Drool.
Yeah. This is just you like stream of consciousness reading. When did you watch this movie? How many nights ago?
Last night before this. I came in prepared. You have to understand that I had Chick-fil-A. I was trying to have a good time watching this film, eating a delicious chicken-based meal, and in my opinion, my meal was ruined by this movie.
Wow, you really didn't like it.
I did not like it at all, and I'm usually the kind of guy that is able to take my brain. This is why, guys, I do video game reviews and not film reviews, because when I went to film school, one of my main focuses was on film analysis, and for about 18 months of my life, I hated every movie out there, even ones that I loved. I saw every crack, every frame, every issue drive me crazy, and so I had to. When I started The Completionist, I became a hermit in how I ingest media, and I rebirthed as someone who appreciates everything. In watching this movie, it reminded me of why I disassociate myself from films, because I have a hard time enjoying them. This was not a popcorn movie in my opinion.
Wait, what's a popcorn movie?
Something like Transformers, where you can watch it and be like, this is dumb, this is crazy, there's explosions, it's very like a popcorn movie. It's like you wouldn't necessarily enjoy the movie for its plot or its in-depthness, but
are you
you're
not
entertained by
describing
its set
Sharkboy and
pieces.
Lavagirl?
Hell no. I did not think that at all. This was not a popcorn movie for me. I didn't enjoy the set pieces. I didn't enjoy the effects.
So a popcorn movie is a movie that doesn't make you think much and that you enjoy personally.
I think so, yeah. Is that What's wrong with that? Is that a crazy summary of popcorn movies?
I just think that's a very, I think it's a very strict definition of popcorn movie that only you can use. You know what I mean? It's very subjective.
Popcorn movies are supposed to be subjective.
They are?
Yeah, like when you hear the word popcorn movie, what do you think?
I don't know. That's why I don't use that phrase. I don't use it. That's why I asked. But I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying shit. I didn't know that's what you meant by it. I'll tell you this much though. It became very clear to me early on what this movie is. For those of you who have never seen it, this movie is 98% green screen.
Yes. There's maybe 3 scenes that take place in a practical set.
Right. It's very Wizard of Oz, where like the real world is a very small percentage of the movie, and the real world is represented, instead of being represented by black and white, the real world here is represented by practical sets, and the fantasy is all, instead of color, it's just green screen.
Yes.
And the whole movie is this visual feast that has not aged well, but I will tell you this much. Very early on, I realized what this movie was. Like you said before, this is a film that is clearly a yes and project, right? Like it feels like an improv exercise that I've done plenty of times with people I've taught improv to before, where you like plan something, like let's say like a party or a social gathering, but the catch is that you can only yes and the things that people say to you. And in this imaginary party, if people are allowed to talk like you and I are allowed to talk in normal everyday life, your party's gonna be probably pretty realistic, but also pretty boring. But if you just say yes and to everything, like you can't say no to anything, you're going to end up by the end of that exercise with a wild party. Just like this movie, we ended up with some wild shit. Like there was one version of George Lopez looking at another version in a tornado. It was incredible. And I agree with you. I didn't enjoy that movie this much, but I recognize it very early. Like, oh, I wrote down, if Robert Rodriguez wants to produce an entire movie for his kids, that is his prerogative. You do your thing. And like the fact that he's able to do that, I'm impressed by that.
That's the thing that I will say, that the positive takeaway I have from this movie is that while it's not very well written, and it seems very made up on the fly, and you can definitely tell there's a lot of green screen After Effects artists that were commissioned to work on this movie a lot. I will say that I think it's great that Robert Rodriguez decided to make a movie with his family. The fact that he said, you know what, my son wants to make a movie, and I'm in that position to do so and to make a movie for him, by him, with him. I mean, you know, that to me is like Will Smith acting with his son in The Pursuit of Happiness, right? Just the ability to have a communicable relationship with your family in that way, I think is very impactful. And while the end product was not for us, and it wasn't for us back in 2005 when it came out.
No, it wasn't.
You know, I can understand the appeal, and you know, it's the Diary of the Wimpy Kid situation, where it's designed for a certain demographic that's not us. Yeah. That we don't have perspective on, other than we know what filmmaking is and how it goes, and it was kind of a crapshoot across the board. Even
with that in mind, though, like when you mentioned it wasn't for us, which it's not. I think the themes that were being explored were certainly prescient, and I appreciated them. Like the themes of like nurturing dreams and not saying no to people. Yeah. Especially children. Like that really touched me, and it got to me as somebody who's like, you know, like as somebody like. It got to me as someone who sometimes has trouble recognizing their own dreams. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it was nice to see a movie once again that was all about yes, yes, yes. You know, the theme of the movie was like, just say fucking yes and see what happens. You know, and once again, like, good themes alone do not a good movie make. But like, I was surprised. I don't know about you, man. I knew nothing about this movie. I was completely thrown off. I thought this was going to be standard like kids superhero flair. Like, but Sharkboy and Lavagirl weren't the main characters. They were like next to the main character. Like they were like secondary for sure, but not the main character. I was surprised by that.
Can I share with you, Brett, the revelation? Not the revelation, but the problem that I had with the movie that like always stuck with me throughout the whole thing.
Okay.
Was the relationship between the mom and the dad, David Arquette and the woman from
What
Sex and the
was
City.
your problem with it?
My problem with it was they were more cartoonish as characters than any other person in the movie.
I'll agree that the acting and the direction was a bit weird on those adults. It's true.
Well, it was considering David Arquette and I don't know Sex and the City all that well, but I've seen that woman act a lot, and she's very solid from what I've seen. And I'm mad that I can't remember her name because it's just escaping my brain right now because it's early. But there's this moment where she's like, I'm gonna walk him to school.
Yeah.
And she like walks outside and like the school's across the street.
Right.
And she just drops the news that they're getting a divorce.
She does not drop that news. She alludes to it for us, the audience, but I don't know if that kid ever picks up on it.
She says that they're not compatible anymore.
It's true.
Like, she basically tells their son that they're gonna not be together going forward.
It's true.
And to me, that stuck out to me as one of the funniest moments in the film because immediately after she says this,
Yeah.
she's like, and now go to school.
Yeah.
And like, it just cuts across the street and the school's right fucking there.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even walk him across the street. She just points and says go. And I'm like.
And then as he walks, bullies set upon him like vultures immediately.
Yes.
Immediately.
And so immediately, it's like they see him and they're like, there he is. And they just swarm at him and he like sprints to class.
They're
I'm
fucking, they're flying monkeys, man.
The
Wizard of Oz imagery is all over this movie. It's kind of weird, man. Like, think about it.
Yeah.
Like, you got your fucking, your wicked witch up in the tower and stuff, and you've even got your evil wizard, like the wizard himself being revealed to not be what he seems. Not to mention that, like, the whole dream thing of like everyone's there, they're just a little different in Dreamland,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what really got me when I started to be like, man, I should be on drugs for this, or I'm on too many drugs for this. I don't know. But remember like when the kid was trying to fall asleep and then like there's just this weird, very Bollywood number from Sharkboy that he starts singing.
He starts doing kick flips and like dream, and he's like
starts singing a song about dreaming
and like whooping ass at the same time, like for some weird reason.
Shout outs to that little kid, Taylor Lautner. That dude was like,
Taylor Lautner
he was
went on
off.
to make. He went on to make Twilight. Like,
right.
He started in like there was a good 2-3 year period where that guy was cast as like the heartthrob and like all those like Valentine's, Christmas movies, whatever like the thrill was.
I just like couldn't believe how intense he was with his acting, which is appropriate. He's playing fucking a shark boy, but also he did like legit martial arts and shit. I'm like, oh, I had no idea you were this kid, but that makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
But the musical number really fucking threw me off. But this whole time I'm like, okay, listen. The whole time I was looking for it, and like I think I found it finally. You know how like all of Robert Rodriguez's movies and Tarantino's movies are like in the same universe, right?
Yeah. How is this connected? How is this connected,
so listen,
Brett?
At first I was like, listen, if in the world of Pulp Fiction, in like a small town in Texas, a tornado came down with like an electric Mexican dude was there, somebody would have heard about that eventually. Like we would have heard in Kill Bill, like, oh man, this is crazy. Like you heard about that thing in Texas? You know what I mean? Like that, like I feel like we would have heard about the events of this film somewhere in the rest of this universe. But I think I figured out how they did it.
Okay, I'm listening.
I believe that the Adventures of Sharkboy and Lavagirl in 3D are a film within the film universe of Tarantino Rodriguez that is made by the same production house that made Fox Force 5.
Fox Force 5.
You know Fox Force 5?
No.
As in, they're a force to be reckoned with, and there are 5 Foxy ladies. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them.
Oh yes.
So where Mia Wallace was on the pilot.
Yep.
I believe that Sharkboy and Lavagirl is part of the same production. Like, because you get the idea that like Fox Force 5, it didn't get picked up, right? So I imagine that Fox Force 5 was probably like a little bit cheaper. Hell, it may have been even one of those, like, I'm gonna tell you what this movie felt like to me, right? And this is not an insult. It felt like a Rebecca Blackish type situation where it's like somebody had too much money. And you know what I mean? Like, and they needed to spin that shit on some like kid dreams. And I feel like that's what Fox Force 5 probably was. Like, I guarantee you Marcellus Wallace bankrolled Fox Force 5. I guarantee you he bankrolled that pilot and it didn't do well. And I'm pretty sure, what if Fox Force 5, okay, will you agree with me? Do you think Marcellus Wallace bankrolled Fox Force 5?
Absolutely.
What if Sharkboy and Lavagirl is the completely bankrolled, money-hatted film made by and for Marcellus and Mia Wallace's children in the future?
I'd buy it. I'm convinced. It works. They're connected. All these movies are connected, no matter what anyone will tell you. I agree with you.
They really are.
They are. Brett, I want to share with you some other notes that I wrote down.
Please.
I wrote rocket alarm clock. That's all I said. Just rocket alarm clock.
Okay.
Dad is a writer, encourages dreams, which is a common reoccurring moment.
Yes.
That's probably one of the best true moments from David Arquette and the son when they both realize that like dreaming is very important to the two of them.
Oh yeah,
and that's their connection.
That's one of the saddest when he was like, how come you gave up on building this robot? He's like, you said it couldn't be done. He was like, I did? I shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was bad, yeah.
I wrote divorce horribly announced. We talked about that earlier.
Okay, keep going.
Weird female-male joke with the glasses. Now, there's this moment where they get on the spaceship, and Sharkboy and Lavagirl go, okay, the blue glasses are for the boys, and the pink glasses are for the girls.
Right.
And then the main character goes, but there's only pink glasses. And then Lavagirl and Sharkboy both shrug at him,
right,
and he begrudgingly puts them on.
It's 2005. What are you going to do?
I just was. I'm not.
Shut the fuck up, Ted. Ted's sitting here grimacing in the background. Motherfucker, it was 05 and it was children. Shut up.
This is not.
What do you mean a past, motherfucker? It was 15 years ago.
I'm not. Hold on. I want to be clear. This is not me trying to make a stand about understanding gender norms and like creating conflict on it. What I'm getting at is this was supposed to be a joke and it was not funny.
Correct, but that was like most of the movie, Gerard.
Right, but like in most cases, right, like there's a setup to the joke, and like in this movie, when there is a joke moment, there is like a setup. Like, you know, when they're fighting, it's like brain freeze, brain fart. Like there's like at least an attempt to go, this is where we're going. This scene lasts about 12 seconds, and it's not funny. No one wins anything. No one gains anything other than the main character goes, I guess I have to wear pink glasses now.
Yeah, it stands out because it's 2020 now. Like, yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah.
I mean, if I saw it in 2005, I still would be like, pink's a tight color. I don't know what the fuck you're on about.
Great.
I wrote, it's a video game ? And that's just how the progression of this movie goes. Like, literally, there's no, like, from Act 1 to Act 2 to Act 3, the way that Sharkboy and Lavagirl move, we move so much in this movie. It felt like we were in a video game stage for about 8 minutes.
I see what you're saying.
It was like, we're in the ice zone, and now we are in the, now we're flying on robot eyes through, like, the train of consciousness.
Yeah.
And now we're in, like, ice cream land, and now we're in the ice temple, and now it's like literally like, let's go to this. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
We're here. Conflict. Let's go to this. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And the last thing,
it's almost like it was written by a child.
Right. The yes and of yes ands. And the last thing I wrote, movie is in 3D. Forgot that it was in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
I personally got motion sick during some of the scenes.
Like which scene?
Anytime the kids were moving in the 3D environments on some kind of device, and they would swish pan through it like a magic carpet ride almost, and like go past the camera, anytime where the kids were like going down slides and the kids were like, like digitally moving, even though the camera was straight, because obviously it's made in 3D.
Yeah.
But like the Netflix version that we watched has no 3D option, let alone like, do we have 3D televisions or 3D glasses? And so I personally don't believe that the transition from 2D to 3D was good. And you can tell because there's moments where like David Arquette's like, ew, chocolate, and like vomits chocolate on the screen. And it like, you can tell it like goes beyond the camera.
No one ever said, ew, chocolate. Chocolate's delicious.
Yeah, David Arquette, what's wrong with you?
But I think you're right. Yeah, like the technology and even like some of the subject matter, like with the glasses bit, like it's very much a product of its time. Like this movie feels more than like most movies I've seen lately dated. It feels dated.
Yes, very dated.
Yeah.
Well, Brett, we're out of time. Do you want to like? Should we do like a rating?
Okay.
Like,
what's your rating scale?
Let's do like a 1 to 5. That seems pretty.
Oh Lord. Okay.
How about 1 to 5 stars? Let's keep it visually on stars because that's like what most rating systems are for online.
Okay,
films
I'm gonna give
and stuff like
Sharkboy and Lavagirl 2 out of 5 stars. 1 star for being like a passion project and an experiment that I found fascinating, and 2 stars for just like making me stare at big ass George Lopez's head for like a long time.
Okay.
Because his head is already kind of big, and like I just appreciate like them leaning into that. So thanks, Rodriguez family.
Oh yeah, that every time we got way too close to the glass, he's like, "Electricidad." I am Mr. Electric. Yeah.
Incredible.
Low rider. That's like his theme song and everything. I kept imagining that song was playing every time his face was on screen. He's done like 7 stand-up specials coming out to that song. My rating, I agree with you. 2 out of 5 stars. 1 star. For Rodriguez, similar to you, actually creating this with his family, for his family, by his family, which I really, really respect. Yeah. And the second, for at the very least attempting to have a genuine connection between a father and son and a family, regardless of how poorly mom decides to tell kid that they're getting a divorce. That will never, to me, and I think you understand this, Brett. Maybe this is the extremity of it. Maybe how we end this video. The scene in which the mom tells the kid that they're not compatible anymore is the equivalent to me in the room where the girl's mom tells her that she definitely has breast cancer.
I mean, like, I think it was like, if he had gone home that day, it would have gotten there.
Yes.
If he had gone home. Instead of getting dragged to Planet Drool, if he had gone home and his parents were like, sit down, listen, this isn't your fault. Like, it would have got there, but it didn't get there, you know? Make better dreams. Dream better dreams, everybody.
Dream better dreams. And if you're gonna, remember, for you Captain Jack fans, dream a dream. Won't you dream inside a dream? Please just dream in any dream. Boy, you making me scream.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. I made those words up. Those weren't the right words.
Oh, I believed you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. The rhythm's correct, but the words were not right.
Oh! You won't go waggity sex no more. Waggity sex.
Kill that man.
No.
Why not?
You
I can just take an elevator.
Waggity sex.
Used to be wackety sax.
Waggity sex. Waggity sex. Waggity sex.